It is happening, folks, right here and right now. The novel coronavirus continues, evolving into a dire situation. The entire world is on edge. The truth is being leaked. I previously stated, we are not being told the truth on this deadly pathogen that is sweeping the globe. China's Tencent first posted these numbers back on the 1st of February. 154,023 infected. 79,808 suspected cases. 269 recovered. And my gosh, 24,589 have died. Shortly thereafter they removed those numbers. And then posted China's government numbers. 14,446 infected. 19,544 suspected cases. 351 recovered. And 304 deaths. The real numbers of the confirmed cases and the deaths is staggering. Indeed, it is a grave situation. China government is hiding the real numbers just as they did with SARS. Considering these numbers, now we see why emergency wards have turned into morgues. Listen to these two medical staff, there in Wuhan, expose the China government lies. That clinic there is also being used as a mortuary. She states that the funeral homes are packed and are not taking in any more corpse.
你觉得你收入低吧？
我的
收入那个那收低吧？有没还没有收？
我们这边说我们门诊死人蛮多，我们门诊这2天死了60多，然后他们殡仪馆又拖不走，怪病人就把我们急诊拖不搞了，我记得我现在成体脂肪了。
所以我就说政府不得他妈想法。
因为成体脂肪说实话病人死啊，也手不起走，在个在那个过热的环境中，他的尸体腐化更快，病人复制更快。
那肯定啊。
对呀、他会一条龙，他不搞不过来，整环就搞了汉口殡仪馆一家专门收这种重症肺炎的患者，然后我们还把他请过警局的警告，然后警丢人丢了。
所以说，你看政府说那治死啊，死人了，到哪治？
不知道，我们这个小医院呐、每天至少是1个到2个的死亡，就是我们这个小个医院，你更换大医院呐。
所以我就说，政府就说那这个他妈的身上没什么的要营销吃，我他妈一个人能吃，你他妈
这种不是天地不容。
你他妈啥钱那都不是，啥也大好去，他们那还
那时候都说了，他们蛮多的时候回来，我说你莫回来，我说我们那时候都学医生，我们说不能回，他们说你莫发的王坚，我说我是王坚呐，就还是做8个人了，对，做8个人进去了，那帮人肯定之后又要肯定要莫搞还是别个补偿还是别个，就说的是实话呀。
你不是补偿因为我这2天把我的报出来了，我一听我政府的报名高的比假的。
政府是歪了么子？他的司机是有限的，每天只让测2千个武汉市。司机货有限情况下，我们医院被迫只能住院的病人才能查核酸，门诊病人是不允许查核酸。那么住院地方能住几个人？
是的。
好，住病人，然后所有病人都不能查核酸。国家规定不查核酸，核酸显示不是阳性，那么你这个人就不能下诊断是重症肺炎、病毒性肺炎。那么没得办法，就只能说，哎，你是医师啊，其实的。其实就是你不能下诊断呐，
我都不
让下诊断。
我刚才给他打电话。
This is very serious, folks. If you are not right with Yahuwah, you better get right. He is the only protection any of us have. Look at this. Now they are just hauling the dead out.
Đó là mọi chuyện mà tốt hẳn ạ. Họ cửa cho ra chính phủ là Hoàng có gì là họ rồi.
Here we see a van that is just hauling corpses out of homes or apartments.
하나, 2고, 2고, 3고, 4고, 아마 4고는 여가 다니고 우고, 그래서 이거 토우고, 하오. 还有这么多人呢，尸体如尸体，看到吗？无辜尸体。
How many people have passed there in Wuhan that never made it to the hospitals? We will never know. Look at this footage of this brave man. He eventually ends up in jail
这
for
武昌殡仪
filming.
馆这里面尸袋，刚才我照给你们看了，现在又多了。刚才3个，现在我数一下啊，尸袋，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8，有8个。哎呦！ 这么多就这死了，这是几天？就昨天是吧？哎呦，这死人这么多啊！这是病房帮我进的，他在网站。
11 bodies, beloved ones. Are you starting to see how serious this is, folks? Just the flu, right? It is a common thing, so see the entire city being sanitized? This is why they are spraying entire streets. Just the flu, right? It is a common thing, so see the entire city being sanitized? This is why they are spraying entire streets. Even people getting sprayed as they get off the plane in Indonesia. Nothing to see here, folks. Just your normal perfect city spraying for the flu season. What a joke. Wake up, sheeple. What in the world did they create? Talk about a welcoming. That is not going to stop this deadly virus from spreading if those people are already infected. Dr. Thomas R. Frieden, a former director of the Centers for Disease Control, had this to say. It is increasingly unlikely that the virus can be contained. It is therefore likely that it will spread, as flu and other organisms do, but we still don't know how far wide or deadly it will be. From the looks of spraying everything, that might be saving some time, however. No matter what they do, it is just too late. He just admit that it cannot be contained. The world is in trouble. Only hope is faith in Yahuwah. And Yahushua. It is so bad that now they are thinking a fetus can now be infected while inside the mother's womb. The poor mother tested positive. Then 30 hours after birth her precious baby tested positive. The baby might have become infected during delivery, however, according to the article, upper respiratory infections are spread through droplets. I'm thinking maybe cause this virus has HIV genes in it. I don't really know, and apparently they don't either. All I know is this is heartbreaking. So, now the Chinese authorities are trapping people inside little cities. She describes there are 3 gates that are being welded shut. Are they going to let the people die? Then go get the bodies. I wonder if this like a lower income housing? Pay attention, folks. The virus in and of itself is serious, but I'm going to tell you that what comes after, on the world stage, will be absolutely terrifying. I beseech you now to seek Yahuwah. Here comes the police flu patrol. Now the roundup begins. And this is what the elite are really looking at. Seeing how the world reacts to seeing medical martial law that will soon be worldwide. So I suggest you all pay attention. Now it is getting real, folks. Here is they are about to enter into an apartment. We know back in the day. Papers, please. Not anymore. Now if a person is suspected to be sick, off to quarantine. They can do whatever they want now. Like these two guys who got detained just because he would not give up his cell phone in a quarantine zone. The policemen checked their cell phones, and when they would not delete some pictures, they both got detained. It is now a police state. They can be forced under quarantine. And that is what we are seeing. Medical martial law. These people might not even be sick, but they are being forced under medical martial law to be quarantined. What happens once they get there? No one will ever know. Pay attention, folks. This man running as fast as he can, cause he does not want to be quarantined. You can't blame him, cause that new hospital they build in like 10 days is actually a military hospital. Do you know what that means? Whatever happens behind those doors, it becomes a military secret. People on the outside will never know how many patients went in and how many have left. They can do all sorts of experiments. Consider the name: Fire God Mountain Hospital. Reports are saying that the doctor who tried to warn others about the SARS-like virus he had seen in some patients sadly has died.
We're going to talk about one doctor in particular, and his name is Li Wenliang. Now, I have a screenshot here from the doctors group that he was in, and he basically said, you know guys, coming out of this seafood market, there are 7 cases of SARS. He actually says SARS, and then he shows like an X-ray or an MRI scan of a lung to basically show the respiratory issues. And he's like, you know, don't spread this around, but you know, take care of your family, etc., etc. And he even mentions that this is a coronavirus, and then he gets invited, as we say, to tea by the police. Now, if we take a look at this document here from the police station, it's actually quite ridiculous. It's like a written warning, and at the end of it you can see they actually write, you know, if you continue to, you know, do these illegal spreading of rumors, then you're going to face the full brunt of the law. Do you understand? And then he says, I understand, written there with his fingerprint on it, etc. Now, because he's a doctor, and of course they need doctors in this dire situation, he went back to work. And on the 8th of January, after contact with a patient, he actually contracted the virus and has been in the ICU under intensive care since the 24th of January, where he still continues to fight for his life. Now, this is one of the 8 doctors who were arrested for so-called spreading rumors in the beginning. You see, this is what we're dealing with here. We are dealing with a situation where professional doctors are being silenced and arrested and forced to sign stupid little...
How sad. Here he tried to warn others but sadly died at a very young age. Other reports are stating that the Wuhan crematoriums are burning bodies 24/7 to cope with extra workload during coronavirus outbreak. The bodies of victims who have died from the virus must be immediately cremated rather than buried, China's National Health Commission ruled on February 1st. The article further states, family members are reportedly prevented from seeing their loved ones' bodies, which are picked up by the funeral home staff, due to the risk of potentially becoming infected. Terrible. And how devastating for anyone that has lost a loved one. The following is bodies being removed from homes. This is why we will never ever know the true numbers of the dead from this horrific virus. From what I read from one of the funeral homes is that day the vans go out to pick up dead bodies. Each van can hold 7 to 8 corpses. And that each day, they are filling 10 to 15 vans per day. Hello. This is bad, folks. Even if it is the lower end, say 10 vans with 7 corpses, each day, that equals close to 500 in a single week. Now, this is just one funeral home's beloved ones. 1. This is serious, folks. Considering what this one funeral home is stated, there is no way we will ever know how many have died from this deadly virus. It could easily be close to hundreds of thousands, if not a million. Here is footage of 10 bins full of used body bags there at a funeral home. Now that the first patients have arrived at that makeshift hospital, now we can get a glimpse into how these facilities are nothing more than makeshift death facilities. This is terrible, as this lady describes the situation at the one she is at.
姐妹们早上好，这是昨天晚上12点钟，然后我转到这个地方来，什么叫什么方正方太还是什么部队，属于部队的那个医院，里面又没有厕所，又没有药吃，又没有开水，上厕所还要在外面200多米以外，外面下着大雨。本来指完进了医院好了的，这还搞拐了，全都是这种病人，恨不得还要感染。这是什么方太部队所有的那个医院，这么多人，这怎么看呢？这互相感染还吓人些，又没药吃，又没针打，全都是这样子的人，有的甚至比我还重一点，到处都是的，又没隔离，就这一个板子。而且那边都是人，这都是的。在红山宾馆里面就这么统铺，又没隔离，又没厕所，开水还要走到那个地方去打。救救我，向社会上反映一下，姐妹们。
Pay attention, folks. That is terrible. No hot water. No bathrooms, making sick patients have to walk to use the porta potty. All those people in there, some sicker than others, and just spreading it even worse. Who does this? Unless they are wanting to kill their own people. No medication, she stated, they are just rounding people up, forcing them into quarantine. Look at this footage. She is literally placed into a box. Now, if she was not sick before, I guarantee she is now.
抓起来了。
哦，进去了，看到没有？
他们。
哇，太可怕了。
我不喜欢抓进去。
可是他们生病了。
所以他们要去哪里？
They now have the military checking temps. Pay attention, folks. In the event one has a fever, guess where they are going? The military has set up shop and plans on staying there for quite some time. Whoever they can't round up and throw in those death facilities. They simply just lock people in. Are you seeing this? Look, if one person is suspected of having the virus, the entire building is in lockdown. No going in. And no coming out. So, those who are not infected will eventually become infected if they are living next to someone. This is messed up. Entire cities' streets are now being locked down. Here is a man getting arrested because he does not have a mask on. People being pulled out of their homes. Police will show up at anyone's door who tries to share info about the coronavirus outbreak. Here the police show up requiring about deleted content on social media.
我明确告诉你啊，高尔夫目前官方没有确认病例，明白吗？
那哪个地方会通知呢？会官方发布？
你看官方通告啊，没有官方通告不能随便发布，一旦发布造成社会影响的，我们将追究法律责任。啊，现在我们要求你立即纠正你前面的朋友圈，一个是删除，第二个你再发朋友圈，对前面你发的信息进行纠正，啊。
怎么纠正？
你就说，你说，哎呀，可能刚才这个上一条这个信息也不是很准确，如果有大家带来困扰，表示感谢、抱歉之类的，啊，你自己挽回影响，啊，我们跟领导已经请示啊，首先对你进行训诫，不过你拒不挽回影响或拒不道歉的，我们按照法律要求对你进行追究法律。
Terrible. But it is just the flu. That came from some bat soup. Yeah, right. Here we see more people trying to escape. This man jumps off a bridge and dies because there was no room at the hospital and he did not want to go back home and infect his family. So he decided to kill himself. What are we not being told, folks? How many people just kill themselves over the flu? What did he see at the hospital that caused him such hopelessness to take his own life in order to save his family from getting this? Look, they knew about this deadly virus and according to this article they covered it up for 2 months. 2 months, the medical staff continued to work without proper protection. Not only did hundreds of medical staff become infected but sadly by them working on others, they in return spread this deadly virus to multiple people. The article continues to state that 1 out of 10 came down with the virus at that hospital. Are you serious? That should have everyone's attention. Here it states that 1 patient infected 14 medical workers. That is what that nurse stated I shared in my other video, Pandemic Rising, the novel coronavirus. I think as she stated that once the virus mutates something terrible would happen. Has it already happened? Here we learn that 5 infected people can spread the virus to 368 people in 5 cycles. Are you hearing this? What have they created? How many more are going to die? And then there are sickos like this person, deliberately coughing on small drinks to infect others. My gosh. Sicko. This is what humanity has come to. People have no regard to the humankind, they want to kill as many people as they can. Here we see inside a US evacuation flight from Wuhan. They have hazmat suits on, looks like Ghostbusters masks talking through megaphones. Did you hear him say, show hands? Looks as if that woman has some sort of liquid vial. The man on the megaphone asks, if anyone was finished yet? He also states no one is getting off the plane if they have not finished, I guess, drink or taking that liquid.
Show of hands, has anybody not finished it yet? The only reason I say this is it's going to get really weird when everybody gets off the plane and you cannot. Because you have to have that in order to leave this airplane.
It is so bad now, folks, that another city in China is locked down due to the coronavirus. There is now over 60 cities across 3 provinces in lockdown in China. Over 400 million people, that is 28.5% of China's population, are on lockdown. That is more than the entire population of the United States. Let that sink in, folks. Oh brothers and sister. Time to wake up out of your slumber. Yahuwah has always used evil to move his people in the right direction. Time to make your wrongs right. Here is a clip of the lady whose mother had died.
你们前面帮人全解决了个问题，今天就下不了地。跟你说难听，我头家社区的2生产楼3号，我联想社区，你不给我看那话，莫猜我走。 社区不管，我这只能找改道。我跟你要说，社区跟我说的蛮清楚，叫我把妈妈的结果交给他，他拿了医院给排队会诊，说的协和的专家是要我妈妈住院，只是说没得床位给我妈妈，根本不是我都不愿意掏钱检查，是没这个资质给我们检查。你要心里清不清楚？我一起的朋友昨天在去医院看病，千万不要信政府的报道。我手机里面就有别个叫到死的2个人。我昨天那样跟社区说，不要把我妈妈送到协和卡，说协和人多，老人从早的10点钟排了半夜2点钟才看完病呐。你的那好人都做成死人了，好不好？啊？你们心里清不清楚？老子跟他说，不要去免费的医院，你的妈个病免不免费？不免费啊！大家听到啊？国家照样是收钱的啊！喊你的妈病不收现金呐，要求支付宝微信转账，你的妈年纪大的都可不啊！我们清正的响应国家号召，实际在物的隔离，老子的老娘他们真是太好啊！政府要超前人民了，我还是小朋友的清正的，不说了几多，不是我们不愿意掏钱确诊呐。来，楼上楼下的发抖音叫大家过来，老子的发抖音都没得人能够上传，老子妈妈这找不得要死了，都没得人管呐。我们不能搞啊！我们不能搞，我他妈是违反了自个拿一票，大街上吵架还不行了还，叫个人办事下来。我跟你讲，我骗子都带来的，你还也是大公里，我不想为了你。
This entire situation is terrible. Stay tuned for more updates. As always, if you need anything, please let us know. You can get your free DVDs by going to FollowersofYah.com. Or you can email us at FollowersofYah.com. Be blessed.